Welcome to meditation class. Hi, y'all. We made it. We're here. I'm in my comfy cozies. I got this. My dad gave this thing to me for Christmas. It's it's huge. It's a giant sweatshirt. But it's New Year's Eve. We're here for the final meditation in the Activate Challenge. We made it. So it's been 31 practices, 31 meditations. So I'm really excited. And tonight we're here for our final practice. So we're going to be doing a Reiki meditation. We're going to be doing a holy fire Reiki meditation. So as I talked about earlier in the challenge, tonight we're going to be focusing on like kind of a manifestation meditation, a little bit of a goal setting, intention setting. And if you're watching this in real time, it is New Year's Eve. It's December 31st, the final day in the challenge. So I thought it would be a really perfect time for us to empower our goals, set our intentions for the new year. And I probably talked about this yesterday or throughout the challenge, but anytime is a time to set a goal. So whether you're watching this on years or not, you can do this practice, and you don't necessarily also have to feel pressure to like create yourself anew and like pull all of your skin off and just become reborn just because it's another day on the calendar. But I think yeah, it's just like tuning into the collective energy. Everyone is talking about setting goals, and people who might not normally be doing that might also be doing that. So it's kind of like a nice way to tune in and tap into that collective vortex of energy to really push our energy forward. But time doesn't really exist. So what does it matter, you know? And also, we're on the Gregorian calendar. Is that really the true calendar? Probably not. Kind of like, you know, the history, you guys know. So, does it really matter? It's up to you. It's all about your belief system. But I take any opportunity, a new moon, a full moon, new morning, a fresh day, a Gemini, Mercury, anytime there's that energy, I want to tap into it because like I said, think everybody's hopping on that train. So I might as well ride those coattails towards my goals. So yeah, today we're going to be doing a Reiki meditation. So this is called the Holy Fire Healing Experience. So earlier in the challenge, we did this meditation, and it can be done either to remove negative, stagnant energy, which is what we did before, or it can be used to empower our goals, to set our intentions, to manifest things into our life. And I was talking about this earlier today, and I kind of had this idea, so I wanted to share it further. But manifestation is basically just setting goals and asking God, source, spirit to align with us to help us get there, as well as using these collective energies, these portals in time, to also help us get there. But God, source, spirit, they're not the ones that has to take the action. They're not the one that are actually going to get you to your goal. You are the one that's going to get you or yourself there. They're just there to assist you. And so, yeah, doing a meditation, a practice is going to help you align with the energy, to help you clear, your thoughts, your mind, and help you set the intention. But you're the one who's going to be taking action towards your goals. So, we're going to do a little bit of journaling. So everyone get their journal. Mine says Trust Your Journey. I got this at Target. I love these kind of cheesy things. But yeah. Get your journal. So if you need, you can pause and go get a journal and get your pen. Get yourself situated. We're going to be here for a minute, like journaling. And then we're going to go into the practice. We'll probably be doing like a 5-minute journaling. So get yourself comfy and cozy. You can pause. Pause, come back to me. And then When everyone gets their journal, I'll explain what we're going to be doing. So I'll give everyone who's watching about like a minute and a half. But yeah, so we're going to be doing the Holy Fire Healing Experience. And this is something that if people practice this specific Reiki, so this is Holy Fire Reiki, it's one kind of Reiki, it's a type of Reiki that I teach. So Reiki is a form of energetic healing for those who don't know. And maybe you're just tuning into the challenge now. It comes from Japan, and then it was brought over to the US about like 100 years ago in the 1920s. And then basically it branched off into a bunch of different modalities through different teachers. So there's many different kinds. So I am trained in Usui, traditional Reiki, which is the kind that originated from Japan and was brought over by Mrs. Takata, who was a Japanese Hawaiian woman. And well, she was a Japanese American woman from Hawaii. But anyway, so she brought it to the US, and then eventually it got brought over to the mainland US through California and through other areas like New York and stuff, and then has since spread throughout the whole world. And there's so many different kinds. So Holy Fire Reiki is created by a guy, his name is William Rand, and he studied all sorts of different kinds of Reiki and taught all sorts of different kinds of Reiki and different practices. And then he eventually created his own modality with the help of this other woman, Colleen Benelli, who is a medium. And they're both practicing and teaching still this. So he brought this to us, through basically channeled practices. And the idea is that it was more for this time here and now. So when Usui, the person who originally received Reiki and received the understanding and the teachings of Reiki from spirit through, channeled experience, it's more that was for his time. And if you kind of look into the histories, what was going on in the 1920s, but also specifically at that time in Japan, there was a bunch of different earthquakes and things like that. So there was a lot of chaotic energy. And he brought forward, this healing system that was able to help a lot of people at that time who needed that help. And so William Rand has worked with a bunch of other people, like such as Colleen Benelli, to bring this energy forward about like 2014. And it's been upgraded a few times, but basically it's working with Reiki. And then we also work with, I guess like more mediumship, spirit connection, connecting with angels, and specifically Jesus, Mother Mary, Holy Fire, Holy Spirit. So it's kind of interesting, but it's kind of hard to explain, I think, in a short little sentence. But I would just describe it as a Reiki that's here for a new time. So it's still Reiki, same thing. Same, but different. It's just a little bit souped up and stronger because we need that shit a little bit stronger. You can think about it just as kind of like throughout time, maybe you'll get like used to something and like a certain sound you might hear in the background all the time. And back in the 1920s, they would never hear the sound of like a certain kind of Wi-Fi frequency. And then all of a sudden now we just don't notice it because it's constantly around us. So it's kind of like we need to break through those higher frequencies around us just from noise pollution and people pollution. There's just so I mean, not that we're pollutants because we're amazing and essential, like definitely not like anti-humanist or anything. But like there's a lot of people and a lot of energy around. So this is kind of like a higher energy, higher frequency that might assist us in this time. So anyway, that's just a little background about what Holy Fire Reiki is, just if people are curious. And I teach this class, and yeah, it's just about like using Reiki, but also connecting with spirit guides, assistants. Um, and I'm a medium, so I like the kind of spin on that, and I uh, teach a lot about psychic development and stuff along with Reiki because I think it's really important if you're going to be manipulating energy to be able to understand and perceive what you're doing. But also, Reiki is a sentient energy. It knows what it's doing and it goes wherever it needs to go. So there's no wrong way to do Reiki. Like, that's why you could take a Reiki class and then tomorrow do a Reiki session on someone, and it could still be a beautiful experience. But the more that you hone your craft and understand how to do it, it's just like anything else. I always use the example of like learning to play an instrument or painting or something. Like, some people are just naturally good at it and some people need more practice. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about a little bit about what Reiki uh, Holy Fire is before we do the healing experience so people can kind of have an idea of what they're getting into. So, basically, like any of the other meditations we've been doing, this is going to be kind of like a visualization, and then we're going to go into the energy healing. So at that point, we're going to be focusing on what we were talking about as far as our journaling practices. So we're going to get into our journaling practices. So I'm just going to read from the book so you guys can hear a little bit about what this meditation is, and then we'll get into it. So, this is called the Holy Fire Healing Experience. Like I said, it can be done either to remove negative energy, stagnant energy, like we did before, or it can be used to empower your goals, like we're going to do tonight, 2023. Coming in with some new goals. And so, the Holy Fire Healing Experience can be done. So it will provide a deep healing experience. The experience brings in a high frequency energy healing that is more powerful and effective than given during a regular Reiki session. If done before a regular Reiki session, it can make the session more effective by opening the aura and creating a more receptive state. It can be done more than one client at a time. It can be done private when no one is watching or with the client's eyes closed. The technique can be done with the individual during a Reiki session at the end of a um, Reiki class. So essentially, what that means, and this is in a book to teach Reiki, so that's why it's kind of worded like that. Kind of letting you guys know what it can be used for. But this can be used like in a one-on-one session. You did this to remove negative energy or empower people's goals, or it can be done in like a meditation style, like we're doing right now in a class or on a YouTube video or whatever. So it can be used in many different ways. And when they say it's more effective than a Reiki session, basically just what that means is that you're able to do more than one person at a time rather than having to do the hands-on healing only. So, Reiki can be done many different ways. Most people think of hands on healing. That's kind of how it originated. And then, we've been able to evolve. And the more that our consciousness evolves, the more that we can understand different ways that we can use and manipulate it. And Reiki, as I've said many different times, is just one form of energetic healing, which we're going to be connecting with tonight. But as you've seen throughout the challenge, even if you've never taken a Reiki class, can connect with energy healing for yourself. Send yourself energy. Imagine the energy, feel the spiritual energies coming through to you. And you can also connect with spirit and have them send you healing, connect with your self throughout time, send them healing, your ancestors. Like, we've done so much. And some of the stuff that we haven't done, that we didn't get to, we're going to be doing throughout the next, couple months on the channel. So we're going to be doing some more Akashic Records meditations and some fun stuff because I wanted to do a little more of that. But, we can only do so much in 31 days, but we did a lot. So I'm proud of everyone. And even if you just are here for tonight or you've only done a few of these practices, you got what you needed. And all the videos are up for you to receive whenever you want. If you want to go back to them or do certain ones again, everything's up on a playlist at the end of this video, or just go to my page. It's at the bottom. And yeah, enjoy all the meditations. So, what we're going to be doing tonight is empowering our goals. So, this healing experience can be used to empower our goals. If there's a goal that you feel you have trouble achieving, it is likely or possible that something needs to heal before we can achieve it. There may be an unconscious, a negative feeling, or thought about the goal that is blocking its achievement, such as a fear of failure or a fear of success, like doubt, shame are huge blockages for us. Self doubt, of course, and I think, yeah, fear is a huge one. Fear was the biggest one for me, and it still is. And I'm like trying to break through it. I don't know why I keep doing this, you guys, but I'm feeling the emphasis. Um, but yes. So, yeah, so having the client, aka you guys, focus on the blocks will cause them to be released during this healing experience. So what we mean by focus on the blocks is we're going to be doing a little journaling, and then at one point during the practice, you're going to imagine some of the energies that we discussed. So during the healing experience, it is possible to receive insight about the goal or guidance for making plans. Like you might just get random ideas or like thoughts or ideas flow to your mind, or maybe later that day you're like, or later tonight when you like listen, after you listen to this meditation, you feel like guided to do some journaling about it, or maybe you just get like a ping to call someone and have a conversation like in the next few weeks. Like it's not necessarily like this meditation is just going to be like, okay, my goal is to be a billionaire, and then tomorrow you get $1 billion check. Like it's all about action and little steps, and just like being able to see how things are moving forward for you. So when you set your goal, it's going to be kind of like a larger thing, and then later, if you'd like, you can journal about that and break it down into smaller tangible steps for yourself. So um tonight, what the healing experience element part of it is really about breaking down the blocks and the barriers in our mind, in our energy field, and in our emotions that are holding us back from actually taking any of those steps, or asking for help in order to take those steps if it's not actually possible for us to take those steps on our own, or being able to understand even what we want or desire. Because sometimes we are like, I want something to be different, and I want something, like I would love a better life, but we don't know what we want. So that is also possible too, like being able to have some more forward understanding. This is peppermint hydrosol. Um, so in this case, you may become aware of it, this block, like moving or shifting, or these ideas come forward, or um, maybe you realize that a particular goal is not even in harmony with like your life path thing, your intention. Like maybe you were like, I want $1 billion, but actually you don't even want that. You want something else that is a feeling that maybe you perceive that person with $1 billion having. Like you might also understand like this isn't even the goal that I want. Like it's actually this is the goal that I want. So when we set intentions or we set manifestations, like we want it to be like this or better, like what is supposed to be for me. Because sometimes I'm like, I want this fucking thing exactly like that. And then it comes forward like it's kind of like that, but it's different. And then I'm like, but actually it's better. So we don't want to like cling too tightly to exact preciseness. Um, so so it may become aware, it may reveal itself during the healing experience, and then during it, I'm going to have you focus on the goal and be willing to take responsibility for whatever is necessary to achieve it, while being open to new ideas and attitudes about it. A willingness to release unconscious negative attitudes about the goals is also necessary. All that shit is extremely difficult, you guys. It sounds easy, like, okay, I'm down to just release whatever. Give me my goal. And then, no, and it's not that simple. So, being open to new ideas and attitudes about it. So, if you have this idea, your goal, and then someone's like, hey, actually, it would be like way better and easier if you did it this way, and then you could get to your goal like so much easier. But you're like, I can't listen to you because I have to stay in my own idea of what my goal is like. Like, you have to be willing to be open to suggestion, whether that's from God, source, spirit, your friend, some random person on the street, your boss, like, and not everything that people suggest to you is something that you should take forward, of course. Like, sometimes people say shit and you're like, okay, I'm not doing that. But sometimes things will be revealed to you, like I said, and you're like, actually, the goal needs to be, let's switch up the goals. It's okay to switch up your goals too. Okay. And also, like, things can influence your goals in different seasons of time. Like, sometimes your goals might be more emotional. Like, I want to feel this way. Sometimes your goals might be more mental. Like, I want to think this way. I don't want to think that way. And, et cetera, might be more tangible, physical. Like, I want to see something in my reality. Like, I want more clients for my business. I want more opportunities. I want more connections. I want to go on more adventures with my friends. Like, you know, it's all up to you, however you want to set the goals tonight. Okay, guys? So, like, don't be too stressed about it. Also, this meditation, again, will be saved. So you can just go back to the part where we actually start the meditation if you want to, like, do this again and set different goals, at different points of time in the year or whatever. So this is what we're gonna be doing. So first, everyone's gonna get their notebooks, and we're just going to do a couple of journaling exercises. So our first question is gonna be, what is our 2023 goal? And if you're not doing this on like New Year's or around New Year's, just say, like, what is my current goal? Like, um, 2023 or a current goal. And I think actually what would be even more fun, just for a special treat, is to set a goal for each of our bodies. So set a goal for emotions, like, how do I want to feel? So, did you guys catch that? So, our first question is, what is our current 2023 goal? So, firstly, is how do I want to feel? Like, what is my goal for how do I want to feel in 2023? And just sum it up by a word or a few sentences, and then we'll move on to our mind. So for our mind, our question is going to be like, for your goal, for your mind, what is your strongest thought in 2023? What is the strongest, loudest thought in 2023 for you? In your mind, what are you thinking? I'm just writing a few things down, a few words. Stillness, peace. These are some examples. Freedom. So for the body, the physical, I want us to think about some tangible stuff. So this is kind of like summing it all up. Like, what is our 2023 tangible goal? Like, what is something that we want to accomplish or see in our reality? So that example of $1 billion is ridiculous, but like something physical. Like maybe you want to um, get a new car. I don't know, something physical, a new job, a new opportunity. You want to move, you want a new relationship, you want a child. you know, what is your goal? What is like the biggest thing that you want in terms of a tangible goal? Like more, what do you want to see more of? And then thinking about our spirit, about our energy, and thinking about this challenge. Like, how do you want to continue your connection to your energy, to your spirit for 2023? Like, what's a goal you want to have for your spiritual connection? Do you want to do more journeys? Do you want to go outside and talk to the trees? Like, creating some kind of devotion for 2023 to spirit and to your energy, like, and getting to know it better and more clearly. Like, what is that for you? I have all my beverages. My sibling got me this cup too for, I think I already told you guys that, but got me that for Christmas. I'm obsessed with it. I feel that energy so strong. It's like putting me into a trance. I'm trying to stay with you guys. Okay. Um, so now that we have some of these goals, I want us to think about like what's standing in our way. Like, what is the feeling that if someone was like, what is your goal? And you're like, well, I want to do this, but I can't really do it because this and this and this. But what is the feeling behind that objection? Is it like, I want to do this, but I don't want anyone to know because you feel ashamed? Or is it like, I want to do this, but I'm going to fail? Like, I'm scared of failing. Or I want to do this, but if I do that, I'm going to shine so bright that everyone's going to fucking hate me, like, and be jealous, like, fear of success. Like, what is the block for you? Is it doubt? Is it shame? Is it fear? Is it um, self hate? Like, what is a feeling that is hidden behind your kind of inability to feel like you can work towards your goals, or even that you deserve to work towards your goals? Because is it that feeling of what's the point? Like, what is the feeling for you? And then once you kind of can establish, like, and don't think about it too hard because we don't want to wallow in that feeling, not, at least not right now. That's not what we're focusing on right now. We just want to identify that the feeling is there. But before we move on, I want you guys to think about if that feeling, the shame, the doubt, the fear. Sorry, I keep clicking my pen. If that energy, that feeling was stuck in your body, was living somewhere in your body, where would it be living? In your stomach, in your shoulders? Like, where do you feel this block of self doubt that's holding you back, or fear or shame? Like, your stomach. And just think of it, the first thing, the gut feeling, so and so. Where would it be? What's the first place that you think of? Your middle back, your lower back? Like, what lights up for you? And if this issue, this block, had a shape living in your body, what shape would it have? Would it be square, spiky, blobby, squishy? What shape would it be? And you guys can be writing this down, or you can be just thinking about it. Like, we're kind of just going through this quickly, so don't feel stressed. Just kind of like let it flow in your mind. And um, at one point, we're going to go and kind of focus on this shape or this area of the body during our meditation. And we're going to focus on releasing the block that is holding us back from our goals. So, thinking about if it had a color, if this shape, this block had a color, what color would it be? Orange, black, brown, gray, pink. What color would it be? If it had a texture, would it be sticky? Would it be spiky? Would it be slimy? Would it be, something else? I can't think of another one. And the weight too, like, how heavy would it be? How light would it be? Does it feel like 1,000,000 pounds, 1,000,000 years old? It's been there for 3,000 lifetimes. Like, how heavy does it feel? Or is this something that feels more fresh, more new? Like, oh, I felt so good about this, but then someone said something recently and it just made me feel stuck a little bit. It's not too deep. I can pull it out. Like, how heavy is it? How thick is it? How far down is it? I'm just clearing some energy, you guys. I'm feeling it a lot, and I just want to help us out as we're going into this. So you might feel some energy flowing. And the temperature, like, if it was at a temperature, is it freezing? Is it warm? Is it hot? Is it burning? And the sound, does it have a sound? Is it like chalkboards scratching? Is it like a river rushing? Wind blowing? Like, how does it sound? And just taking note in your mind, or if you guys want to just jot some stuff down before we go into the real practice, um, we'll just at one point we'll focus on this block. And again, just the idea is we're willing to let it go, set it free. But of course, we know, as I mentioned earlier, some action needs to take place for us to do that. So let's get comfy and cozy. As I mentioned a second ago, this is the Holy Fire Healing Experience. It's going to be like a journey. We're going to be doing a little visualization. Then I'll have us focus on this area of the body where we were thinking about the block. Then we're going to go into silence. So this practice is going to be done lying down. You can stay seated if you like, but we're going to be here about 20, 30 minutes. So if you want, I invite you to just lie down, get comfy and cozy. And if you want to have music, I'll give everyone a minute or so to get situated. And I'm going to keep drinking my water. ASMR. Okay. Give everyone about 30 more seconds. Me and my beverages. Me and my beverages. I'm excited. When I feel the energy, I just share this because I know it'll help someone. When I feel the energy come in, I feel it really much. I feel it very much behind my eyes. Like it's almost like this thick mist or fog like over my eyes. And then it's like I can start, how do I explain this? Seeing in layers, different like dimensions and folds in time. So say for example, there was like a spirit in front of me, like I was doing a reading for someone and there was a medium spirit, like a loved one or ancestor or a spirit guide like in front of me. It's like they're here, but they're like in lenses. And then if I can like tune the lens, then I can see them and like connect with them further. I don't necessarily need to see them to connect with them because I could tune into them like behind my ear, like almost like a headset kind of thing. Like feels like a Bluetooth, like those people, they have the little microphones in their, like at Mike. I used to work at Michael's, and then we had like a headset, and they're like, "Come up to the register." It feels like that, like they're behind my ear, and I could just hear them. But this is like a lens thing. It's like, and there's all these different dimensions and time. So when we open up these meditations, I start seeing, and I have to like tune back in, and it's kind of sometimes we go in and out. So I'm learning how to use my gifts as they open up further and further. So it's kind of interesting to me because sometimes it's like, how do I control this? So sometimes I feel like I'm like, am I still talking? And that's why grounding and the body focused meditations are so important. But I just share that because I know like someone listening that might happen for them and it might be helpful. But it's almost like if you've ever gone, I've been wearing glasses since I was literally in first grade. So um, I've been going a lot. But if you've ever gone to an eye doctor and they put those little goggle machine over you so you can check the prescription to see what kind of prescription lenses would be the right prescription for you. So they put different lenses and it's like this little machine back and forth of different strengths of lens so you can see at different uh, distances. So this I think is kind of like the same thing, almost like glasses for different dimensions. That's how I perceive it, just because that's my understanding and metaphor for me to understand it, you know? So anytime spirit communicates with you, it's going to be through your lens. um, so they talk to me about the little eye thing because that's something that I can perceive like, oh, this camera one, camera two, camera one, camera two. if you guys have seen Wayne's World, I'm being able to see, okay, this is something I can see through here and now it's blurry. I can see through here and now it's blurry. It's kind of like the same thing with the psychic eyes, the psychic sight. Sometimes you can see and sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can see and sometimes you can't. And then other times we're seeing through our third eye, through our mind's eye. So when we close our eyes, that's when we see. So me, I have more difficulty as an intuitive seeing with my mind's eyes closed, rather than seeing with my eyes open. But Sloan Tate, one of my favorite people, is a medium, and she told me mediums and shamans work with their eyes open. So maybe it's something like that, where it's just easier for me to see into the world with my eyes open. Rather than psychics, we have to close our eyes. So everyone's different. And then, of course, as we talked about throughout the whole challenge, everyone works on their different psychic senses differently. So sometimes you're going to hear like your little teleprompter behind your ear. Sometimes you're going to hear behind your head. Sometimes you're going to hear up here. Sometimes you're going to hear in here. Sometimes you're going to hear in your brain. Sometimes you're going to hear at the back of your brain stem. Sometimes you're going to hear in your heart. Sometimes you're going to hear in your stomach. And then, of course, we have the feeling and the knowing. So everyone's different. But I just shared that little story because I heard I had to, but mainly because I know, yes, it will help someone understand themselves more, because these are the kinds of things that are just hard to explain. So I will try my best. We're already at like almost an hour. We haven't even done our meditation. So I hope that you guys like listening to me. So let's get into the practice. So everyone lie down. We're going to close our eyes, all of them, our third eye, our regular eyes, close all of our eyes. Bring our hands to our stomach, one hand right above the belly button, one hand on the belly button. We're just going to begin by just tuning into the body, taking a few slow breaths, just breathing in through the nose, exhale out the mouth, breathing in, exhale, inhale, exhale, breathing in, exhale, inhale, final breath, exhale, and in your mind's eye, and in your inner vision, your intuition, your inner knowing, all the senses, do your best to follow along with the words I am describing: sense, feel, and or imagine. This is the Holy Fire Healing Experience. Continue taking some slow breaths, making yourself as comfortable as possible. In your mind's eye, begin to imagine it's a beautiful day, sunny, a slight breeze, some clouds, but the perfect temperature. And you're walking down a path in the forest. As you breathe into your body, you breathe in the life energy of the forest, the essence. Each step you take, feeling the energy of the earth flowing up through the bottoms of your feet. And as you walk along, Just noticing the trees, the plants, wildlife, flowers that surround you. You see in front of you another path going off to the right, and you feel compelled to follow that path. As you follow this path, you come to a clearing in the forest, and in the middle of the clearing is a small hill covered in soft grass and flowers. Climbing up the hill, you feel the grass, the flowers against your feet and your legs. When you get to the top of the hill, you see a blanket under the tree, the largest, most beautiful tree you've seen in a long time. And you decide to lie down on top of the blanket, under the tree, in the grass, feeling the energy of the earth beneath your body, behind your head and your shoulders, supporting your hips and your feet. You gaze up into the sky. Gazing into the sky, the sun is setting, and the stars begin to rise in the sky. And you see one beautiful star in particular, shining and shimmering so bright. As you gaze up at that star, it gazes back as a beautiful beam of light begins to shine down, all the way down onto earth and onto your body. And of course, we know this is no ordinary light, for it's a healing light, healing Reiki energy coming from the cosmos, the highest of heavens. And the light shines all around you, flowing into you, filling you with warmth and feelings of safety and security, love, stillness, eternal life. And at this point, this beam of light begins to focus directly on the block, that area in the body we talked about earlier. The block, the feeling, the sensation that is holding you back from achieving what you desire, from feeling what you desire, from having those connections with spirit, with yourself, with your own ideas, anything that makes you feel like you can't be the best, highest version of yourself, or that you don't even know who that person is. The light begins to focus directly onto that shape, focusing on the shape and be willing to release. Taking a deep breath, imagine letting it go. Imagine it melting away like ice. Gazing directly into that light. And as you do so, the light begins to guide you. Allow yourself to follow that light. Feel into that light and continue with your own inner experience. We'll be here about 20 minutes. I'll call you back when we're done. And if you get distracted, feel free to move or stretch your body or bring your focus back to your breath, back to the light. Continuing your breath, allowing this energy to flow. Continuing your breath. Continuing with your own experience, however long you feel, beginning to bring your awareness back to your body, back to your feet, your calves, your knees, feeling into your thighs, your mid, all the way up to the mid back. And your torso, all the way up to the heart. Bring your awareness, your shoulders. Maybe move your head a little bit side to side, up and down. Bringing your awareness to your face and your jaw, all the way up to your crown, your fingertips and your toes. And when you're ready, you can slowly come back to your body, back to the room you are in now. So be it, so it is, giving thanks to all the energies that came forward to support. And as always, thank you for showing up for yourself. Any energy that we moved or shifted, we ask that you release into the light or buried deep into the earth to be recycled, to be renewed, to become useful energy. So be it, so it is. Again, cleansing and clearing the whole energy field. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I invite you guys to journal, write about kind of what came up in that practice, about your goals, what kind of tangible steps you want to take for yourself. How do you feel in this moment? How do you feel after this challenge? What are you thinking about? What are you feeling? And then relax, celebrate. You made it. We did this whole Activate challenge, baby. So it's been 31 amazing practices with y'all. I'm so grateful to be here with you. Literally, like sleeping, that one brought me like deep into some stuff. It was interesting. So let me know how your experience has been throughout this challenge. Please comment. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I'm going to be sharing lots of meditations and videos and educational stuff and all the things. So check it out. And also, I have lots of other meditations already on my page. So if you're a new subscriber, you got plenty of things to check out. So enjoy. Thank you for being here with me. Happy motherfucking New Year. And woohoo! We did it. And thank you for being here with me. And I'll see you guys next year. Bye. Bye, y'all. Thank you.